Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John Kajushka,
Hey there, everyone.
co-host
Happy
and lead
Friday.
investigator
Welcome
for
back to the
Canada's TV
Historically
show
Haunted
True
Show.
North
I'm your guest,
Paranormal.
Adam Began.
You're listening to Adam Began
We're going to have a
on the
good show
Historically
tonight. I
Haunted
have
Show.
someone,
Keep it creepy.
someone I know personally, so to speak, I guess. He's kind of from the same area as me. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of you listening know him. UFO Fred Richards. What's up, brother? How are you?
Oh my God. Isn't that UFO Fred guy again? Holy smokes. What does he do?
Oh, man.
He's a short order cook, right?
Yeah, that's it. I think, he sees saucers all right, but the saucers you put tomato soup in, I think, right?
Maybe.
No, Fred's, you guys know Fred. He obviously he's a stand-up comedian too, but he is the main director for Mufon, and he's also just independent. He's been around all over the place, and he's done a lecture at the Warren Con. We'll dive into that in a little bit. But yeah, Fred, like we were saying earlier before the show, he's into the history, the paranormal. Of course, he chose the alien path, but that's all incorporated on our show. Aliens, monsters, all that good stuff. So, Fred, I got to ask you here. Oh, let me get the chat so I can see if we have questions. My bad. Fred, so what's your what is the thing that you one day you're like, I gotta do this? Did you come across an alien UFO? Did you read a book or something?
Well, let's go in the Wayback Machine. I don't know, it's probably about 1977. I grew up in the Adirondacks, and one night I just woke up in the middle of the night, looked out the window, and I saw a craft flying over the house. It was silent, and it was all lit up. Do you remember the film Close Encounters, that craft?
Oh boy, yes.
Right? When
yeah.
I saw that movie, I was always like, how did he get it so perfect? Because that's basically what I saw. And it went over the house. It was silent. I watched it, and then I ran around to the other window, and I watched it go out over the woods. My friend, if we were on video, you'd see I was speaking in French with my hands, but right, I saw it go over the trees, and from then on, I was like, wow, what was that?
You were how old again? How old were you? You said
I was maybe 10 or 11. Wow. I was about 77 because my brother was still there, and he graduated in 77 and left. So it was around that time because he was still there. Nobody else woke up, but I looked out the window and saw it.
Wow.
And I never felt I needed to tell anybody. It was just like my thing. And then, right. And then you, over the years, right, you'd see different craft. When I was in high school, a friend of mine and I saw a craft take off from a local golf course. And to this day, he will not talk to me about it.
No shit.
No, because I was home in New York, and I was like, hey, do you remember we saw that? He goes, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, but it happened. He goes, yeah, it did, but I don't want to talk about it.
What does that tell you? Some people can't digest that mentally, and just some people can't deal with that. It's almost like an out-of-body experience.
I don't know.
Daydream, right? I mean, I don't
know what they're afraid of, right? Because you've been around the paranormal. I grew up in a house that was haunted, and I always saw the things in the house, and I always felt it. Mm-hmm. But growing up with it, I never was scared of it. Now, the movies are scary as hell, but in reality, it's not that scary.
Oh.
Right?
Do you think that they would sense it? Some people say that they throw out this aura from the ship to make you feel calm almost. Do you think that's the aliens making you feel like it's not a big deal, or just you in your head?
I don't
You know
know
what I mean?
because I work with a lot of experiences and they don't have that same experience. A lot of them don't. A lot of them live in fear. But I don't know. With me, it wasn't that a thing. But also in the house growing up, I would wake up in different parts of the house. I wasn't a sleepwalker. I would wake up in a dark room in the house. I knew it was my house, but I have no idea how I got there. Just a kind of weird thing. But if you talk to other people who have had experiences and stuff like that, they have similar stories.
That
Right?
literally shot the Betty and Barney Hill because they had 3 hours unaccounted for when they got done, and they were, they woke up and they're just like, "What the hell have we been for 3 hours?"
Right.
Totally just, and then that's also many cases you see in these movies where they just end up back in their room and then they look and they got grass on their feet. They go, "Shit, I was outside." That's wow.
But those people always seem to have some kind of memory. I don't have any memory of it.
Nothing.
And, right. And another thing I try to tell people when I work with experiencers is be careful because I want to be hypnotized. I want to you don't want to because you're not sure what experience you had. You might not want to relive that.
Your mind blocked it off for a reason because it was traumatic.
Oh, true. That is very true.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like my car accident, I don't remember anything except for the hospital because my brain won't let me. And that's the same thing with abductees. They might have probed you or done something against your will, and you were so horrified you passed out, and you're not going to. Like, I remember I shared a picture one time, and it's like the guy looking at the UFO was like, "I'll pay you to abduct us." And I remember you commented, "You're like, careful, you don't want to be abducted. Trust me. I've heard too many horror stories." And I remember thinking to myself, "Holy shit,"
Right. Nobody's had a good experience, right, that has come forward. Like Travis Walton didn't have a great experience.
No.
Right. But
no.
If you listen to him and talk to him, he feels like they were there to help him.
So he claims, but then at the same time, they heard him. They didn't know things. I mean, even Betty, she knew the whole structure of the galaxy. Supposedly, they told her the extraterrestrial maps, and they didn't know how to unzip her zipper and all that stuff. So she had to help them. But yet they still left scars for years. Real quick, I gotta mention because we were just talking. Jimmy's in chat. Jimmy and Amy, they say hi.
I see him.
Charles Martin says hi. Earl Morgan. George Cannon, Bruce Bartley, Witch in Nature, Betsy, Heather, Witchin, the King. That's cool. Jimmy's listening. We're just talking about you, Jimmy. We're giving you your ears must have been ringing. So King says Fred has done radio before. You can tell he's got a professional microphone.
Oh, it's not that professional. It's just
fucking true legend. So Fred, you didn't really grow up in my area, but I mean you're very well acquainted.
Right.
With
Maine. I came to Maine in '88 with the Navy.
Oh no shit! I didn't know that.
So wow. And I fell in love, and I didn't want to leave. So you guys got stuck with me.
Yeah. Every time I look, you're at Wolf's Neck Park or in Yarmouth or Freeport or.
Well, come on, Wolf's Neck. Right.
I love it there. Oh, it's right around the ocean. It's a beautiful park right down the road from Stephen King's childhood home, right in Durham. You're familiar with Durham?
Oh yeah. Runaround Pond. Tell me you do not get creeped out when you go to Runaround Pond.
Fuck, dude. I went there once to get stoned after high school because I went to Lisbon High and there's a big moose there. And we stuck around and we went to the other side of the road where it's got almost like a little canal. You can go fishing. It's
and you can walk up a hill. Yeah, you can walk up that hill. I'm afraid to walk up there.
Feels weird. Something feels weird about that. You're right, dude.
I might not come back, right? It's like, what? It's like, have you been up to the forts there up in Popham and the other fort up on the hill?
Oh, Fort Baldwin, the big tower.
Yeah, tell me that doesn't have a weird vibe.
Oh, the jail cells and the jails are all bent. They go, oh, World War II, World War I. Didn't see a lot of action. Bullshit. Something happened here.
Well,
I tell you, man, you know what's up. Maine is full of UFO, Bigfoot, and paranormal, and just history. And
any history, right? Any history where where there's people with death, right? It's going to be hanging around. It just hangs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the headlight with the shipwreck. I don't think anybody died, but it's got a weird vibe, right?
Yeah. Oh, Portland headlight. Yes, the shipwreck on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, Longfellow used to go there and write poetry, and Washington commissioned it. And it's William Shatner shot an episode of Route 66 there in Ship's Cove too. You can look that up, right next to Goddard Mansion. That's a nice little area. So where do you feel aliens tie in with paranormal at all? Do you feel like some people say Bigfoot and shit is part of aliens?
Well,
I think, I mean, do you agree with any of that? Do you go into that theory?
Well, the problem is I can't disagree because anything's possible. I don't know. Right. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with my Bigfoot story. I also had a Bigfoot encounter as a teenager where I grew up. It was heavily wooded, wooded. And I spent my youth walking through the woods, right? I was one of those lonely kids.
My people.
Right? Just wandering the woods. And I was coming home, and I got to a point where the trail broke down to the river or a little brook, and you went to my house. And I got to the Y, and I looked down, and standing in the middle of the trail was a Bigfoot. And I was overcome with a fear. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I'm not supposed to be seeing this.
Almost like self-doubt. Almost like, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It's like the feeling that perhaps like if you walked in and your folks were having sex, right? That I'm not supposed to see that. Right. I'm not supposed to see this, man.
Right.
And I hightailed it home, didn't run, because as I say, you don't run in the woods. Food runs in the woods pretty good, but don't run in the woods.
Right? That's a true statement, folks.
I went home and I sat for I don't know how long, and just played the Rolodex in my brain. What did I just see? And it was a Bigfoot as far as I can know, and I saw it. I looked right at it, and I still can't tell you what its face looked like.
Wow. Because of the shadow, it was so big, it just kind of hidden.
I may have put it out of my brain. I don't know.
Heather asked, Heather, who's a big fan of yours, she thinks you're a riot. She asked, did you smell anything when you saw her? Did you have some people say they smell an odor of rottenness?
I didn't really. I don't even recall. I mean, it was weird, right? And I've tried to, meditate and play it back in my mind. And I also feel there was something else in the forest with me, and I don't know what that energy was, but there was something else there.
I want to go back. I do this a lot because the chat gets going. I've got a lot of good people listening to you. They're loving this stuff. Which in nature, Betsy Williams, she asked back when you said you saw the UFO and you woke up and your family didn't see it. She wants to know, did something wake you up, like a dream or something, or did you just come up?
I just woke up.
Great question, Betsy.
But
wow.
Now to bring back my family, right? I grew up with the youngest of 10 kids.
Wow, that's
right.
Huge.
So none of us ever none of us ever spoke about any paranormal in our house except religious stuff, which is a whole other ball of wax that I had to witness as a kid. But later on, talking to my family, like my brothers, they're like, "Oh yeah, we saw stuff in the woods. Oh yeah, we saw flying saucers." My brother was at a friend's house when he was a kid, and somebody went in the house and brought the rest of the kids out to see it. And it's like, how come I'm just hearing about this now? How come we've never talked about this? So people, if you have experience, talk to your family. They may be experiencing the same thing.
Well, even like you said earlier, like even your friend, it's almost like people refuse to believe. And they go, well, if I don't talk about it, it didn't happen. But if more people talked about it, we may have more answers.
Right. Who knows? Ooh, what was that? Creepy door.
Oh, my fucking cat's over there crying because it knows I'm doing a show, so I had to let her in. So the door needs more WD-40 than fucking my axle. So someone says Bigfoot needs a razor. Bruce Bartley, Bigfoot needs a razor, and King says Gillette's hiring.
Yeah.
So Charles Martin asked you, Fred, what UFO case do you find the most interesting out of all of them, I guess? Like Roswell, Betty and Barney?
I think Betty and Barney. I think Roswell's been done to death.
Yeah,
I think something's happened. I think something happened at Roswell, but I think that every couple of years somebody, tries to put a fresh coat of paint on it and come up with a new story.
That was a good one. You made me laugh. I'm trying to smoke a joint. You made me laugh. Have you been there? Have you been to
No, but I was invited to be on a show to talk about Roswell, And when I said, "Oh, you're bringing that old chestnut out again," needless to say, they didn't call me back.
Oh no.
It's like it's been done. It's been done. Stop it.
That's their bread and butter. I know. Just like Area 51, everybody
come-
lines up. to
How
see the
come we don't
gate.
hear about stories like Aurora, Texas, where the alien crashed and they buried him in the local cemetery?
Oh, shut up. That's
Yeah,
right up my alley.
yeah, but then the marker disappeared.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, I got to do some research tonight, Fred. You got me fucking intrigued. Where in Texas?
some Aurora,
What?
Texas. Jim Mars used to talk about it a lot.
Oh.
So yeah, so to me, I want to know more about that. I'm done. I've heard enough about Roswell. I've read the books.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. Charles Martin says, good show, good answer. Thank you for answering him. Bruce Bartley says, thanks for the answer. Awesome. Nicole's here. I got to ask you something, which I'm sure you've known a lot about. Whenever time I bring it up, no one seems to understand, but I know you would. You've heard of USOs, right?
I have.
Unidentified submerging objects. Thank you. Right off New Brunswick, the highway.
Right. It is a real thing. I'm not going to tell other people's stories, but they are a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you if I ever see, I'll tell you off the air the story. But because it's somebody else's story, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to tell it. So.
Oh, I love the perks of being a host. God damn it. And Fred, I get to meet Fred last year, and he gave me a couple UFO Fred stickers, and my girl Heather just thinks he's a riot, and that's why I wanted him on here. He's a great storyteller. Jimmy's loving your stories in chat, Jimmy Paterno. I can't never pronounce his last name right, but Patino? Mr. Haunted, all right?
Yeah, that's all you need, Mr. Haunted.
Oh, that's killer. That's killer. So do you believe, because I've heard theories that they're going to underground cities like the city of Atlantis. I heard they're seen off the coast of Guantanamo Bay. New Brunswick got a USO highway.
Well, think about it. Most of this planet is what?
Water.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at a map of the Pacific Ocean? There's no land. Zero. Right. There's this big stretch. Who knows what's down there?
Right.
Right.
We still haven't discovered.
I'm on the bet we probably have something down there by now.
Yeah. I mean, between the deep woods and the ocean, there's still shit that's untapped. So who knows, right? I mean, there could have been cities once. I mean, the pyramids. Do you think the pyramids are? That's my personal question. Do you think the pyramids are connected? I think so. Huh?
Well, I think there's enough of a connection. I think enough people have put a connection to it. Just over the years. If you my age, you started learning about this on like In Search Of, when Leonard Nimoy would creep you out every day, every Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
So King asked if I had potential UFO evidence, would I call Mufon or trust the government? I would probably hold on to it and keep my mouth shut, because I've heard people getting visited by the Men in Black, and I don't want that.
That's the real thing too. I used to watch that on YouTube, the Men in Black, and they show up at your door. I believe in that. Not the movie where the movie actually is loosely based on it. And I feel like it's for fun, but a lot of that's true. The memory sensor, aliens working as humans. I believe in grays and people among us. Absolutely.
But I have friends in the field who have had visited by people that were from the government, air quote. Right.
No way. No way. There was one I read in a book in Old Orchard Beach right here in Maine. I'm in Saco. I know you're more towards the middle Maine, but we're all close in Maine. Old Orchard, there was a UFO. Something happened in like 1989, and the Men in Black visited a guy. I read that in a book, Strange America or something, Strange New England.
Well, one of the really great UFO researchers lives in Maine, Ray Fowler.
Ooh. I don't know if I've heard of him. I was going to say, is it you?
No. But he's written several books. I can't even pronounce it. Andres saying on the lady that from Leominster, Mass. That was abducted.
Shoot. Yeah. She had a long hair. Yeah.
And he's written several books about that. He wrote one a couple years ago about experiencers and being abducted. He's an older gentleman, but he's still sharp and cranking the books out. So
No shit.
but you don't hear about him because my problem with the UFO field right now is there's a lot of what I call UFO professionals who are getting paid by big money to talk about it, who have never done any research or had any experiences. Right?
No, but they got a college diploma and they got a pretty face, so they're professionals, just like the paranormal field's professionals. Bullshit. You're all bullshitters.
All right. Well, Earl's got a question. It says, does MUFON get abduction reports? Yes, we do. That's what I'm leaving the state director for, is I work with experiencers.
Yeah, Fred, if those you don't know, Fred is the Maine, New England, but basically Maine chapter, the leader, and he's kind of going down. And I guess kind of like me, I had a team and I left it. Fred's like kind of like me. He wants to kind of do it on his own. And there's nothing wrong with that. Fred's got enough respect and enough knowledge to where if he's going to do it, make it fun. Like you say, you don't want it to be a chore or get up and
right. Well, if I decide to write a book, I can't write a book about research that I've done for somebody else.
Right.
Right. I have to do my own so that it's mine. Right. I'm doing it for an organization.
Oh, I love that. Nicole's checking in from California. She says she sees some out there. Yeah, they're all ties. And then she says that they go in the water. Yeah, that's why they're called USOs, because they submerge, which to me, it's just a UFO that's just can go in the water. Like me and Fred didn't mention earlier. The whole Pacific Ocean is pretty much untapped. They can go anywhere. But yeah, man, we're talking to Fred Richards. For those of you just tuning in, UFO Fred. He's a New England boy. He's a Maine boy right now. Let's talk about the Warren Con, which was great. The first Warren Con, where I get to finally I saw you at the Portland Paracon, which is great. But the Warren Con, you get to do some speaking, some lecturing. You got to kind of have your poster up there. That was fun time, huh?
Well, yeah, just to have a poster, right?
That was wild, dude. I know. I'm such a Warren's nut. I love all of
the
them.
best part was I get to take that back. I was like, hey, look, it's my poster. But no,
if you wouldn't have took it, I would have, Fred. If you wouldn't have took it, I would have.
Just that many people. It kind of wore me out because the energy, just in the right, just wow. But it was fun. It's fun to see people actually come out because everybody's been locked down for a long time, and it's just So I get to see you. I got my UFO Fred sticker. Fred, check out his page, guys. He'll plug it at the end, but for now, UFO Fred, just one word, all lowercase, very modest. Fred is very serious. Fred is very in tune with his work and his beliefs, but he's very much a fucking joker. He's always got Heather goes, you see what Fred posted between him and Jimmy, Mr. Haunted? You guys got everybody laughing. So I throw some shit in there. Eric Knapp's pretty funny too. But like you said earlier, you're gonna have fun with it, right, Fred? You have to, because I don't want to talk just about UFOs all the time. I want to talk about cryptids. I want to talk about different things, right?
Hey, look,
there's a lot going on.
It's my show, and I want to talk about what your favorite band is. What do you like?
My
for metal?
Favorite for metal,
rock? Anything, yeah.
That's such a tough one. I can't even start.
And if you say UFO, Fred, I'm going to slap you. Do not say UFO, or I will slap you.
I do like them, but they're not my favorite.
They are pretty good.
Their early stuff is really good. But,
spacey, very, very fucking 70s. Good shit, honestly.
I don't have a favorite. I don't know. I'm the guy. I could be listening to the Bay City Rollers on my way to work, and then listening to Iron Maiden on my way home from work. Right? I just whatever catches my ear.
I like that. That's a good answer. Instead of saying, "Well, I'm more of a rocker," you like you say, if you like it, you like it. That's not
right.
It is, your ear. I like that.
I don't like the new country music because it's basically pop.
Yeah.
All right.
I like David Allen.
Right. If I want, yeah.
It's a little lewd, but
he's done some stuff, right? Yeah, like his Triple X, his Dirty album, right?
Oh boy, he did start the Outlaws Bike Gang. A lot of people don't even know who David Allen Coe is. That's a pretty cool shout out. My girl's a big Yellow Wolf fan. He's like a rocker rapper guy. He's like a Native American rapper, Eminem sign from Alabama. It's different. He sings a lot with he's got like what do they call it? Fiddles and shit like that. He does harmonica a lot too. So harmonica.
But I can't put my finger on it. If it moves me, I'm gonna listen to it.
I love that. I do gotta give a shout out real quick. And I actually gotta ask you, because I know I noticed whenever I go to a place in Maine, like the desert of Maine last week, you like it because you and me are like, we're Maine stopper guys. Today I went to the Palace Diner in Biddeford. You ever been?
No. I've only been to Lewiston by the Sea a few times.
Shit. Biddeford's Lewiston by the Sea. I told Heather that because she lives in Saco, and I grew up in Lisbon. Yeah, Biddeford's Lewiston by the Sea. She goes, oh yeah, that's
No, I've only been there a few times. I mean, it's not on my destination list. I mean, there's some pretty good places to eat downtown, like the Biscuit Place, and there's a bakery down there as well. But other than that, there's not much for me down there.
No, in Saco there's Rapid Ray's. He's been there since the 50s. It's an old burger joint. It's like a Subway. You eat standing up. There's no seats, or you get it to go. It's all in a greasy bag. Right. But this place here, it's a 1926 Pollard car, and it's the second one, or I'm sorry, it's one of two in existence left in the whole world, and it's the oldest diner in Maine. It was on Alice Obscura, so I went, and they had some cool shit there. They had like an alien head or whatever, like a little prop thing. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "Hey, my guest tonight's Fred Richards, UFO Fred." So they go, "We're gonna listen." I said, "I'll give you a shout out." So shout out to the Palace Diner in Biddeford. You guys were all pumped to listen at 8 to talk about the aliens. 2 customers turned around. They go, "You talk about aliens and stuff?" I go, "Yeah, witches too, and everything." They go, "Oh." So I gained some people listening. Yeah, I told them, they go, "We love Salem."
Well, here's a bit of UFO Fred fact. My 9th great grandmother was Susanna Martin.
She was hung. Susanna Martin was one of the witches.
Hanged to dead.
I remember Susanna Martin. You know, wow, Fred, you never told me. How could you keep that secret from me?
I just found out this year.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the 20. One of the 20 gone.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
She was guilty of being a smartass. That's what she was guilty of.
Oh, that's where you got it from.
Probably.
Fucking Fred Richards. Son of a bitch. What does Jimmy say? Jimmy says, yeah, and why are they after our cows, Fred? Oh, someone asked about cattle mutilation. Charles Martin did.
Now, I have my own theory about that. It's probably so far-fetched. But
I'm game. Let's hear it.
Okay, well.
Fucking, I'm interested. We got a half hour.
All right. Here's the UFO Fred theory of the day.
Wah, wah, wah.
Right. Part of me seems to think that grays are really us in the future. And we continue to come back and test the animals and the people to test the DNA and try to figure out what went wrong.
Like a time traveler, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? I've heard that. And people think that Bigfoot is the Neanderthal version of us. I
don't know, but I think,
yeah.
I think, they're trying to figure out what in the hell happened to our DNA. Where did we go wrong?
Well, they're in it right now, fucking Corona.
Yeah.
They're giving people fucking shots and shit. They're giving people these shots that are pregnant, and the kids are coming out with 3 eyes, and they're wondering why. There's this guy, I go sell at the Arundel Flea Market in Arundel, Maine, and there's this one guy, I swear to God, I told my friend he's a gray. His eyes are about the size of like pears cut in half. And he's got his elbows don't really bend, and his hands are almost down to his fucking knees, and he's all white, and he walks around with a permanent grin on his face. Got to be in his 20s. And I told my friend, I said, he's a fucking gray. I cut him, he'll bleed blue. Watch. I almost wanted to cut him, but I'd probably go to jail.
And people say, well, trust the science. Well, you remember in the 50s, they gave pregnant women this, I can't think of the drug, but the babies came out with flippers because they were trusting the science.
The penguin. Oh man.
I can't remember the name. But Nicole asked, where can they submit UFO sightings? You can go
to Gaspard. Thank you, Nicole. Sorry.
You can do it right at Mufon.com. You can click a link. Oh, now where's Nicole located?
Nicole's in California. She does the Real Haunted Connection show right here on the network on Wednesdays. Okay. Nicole's very good. She's in California right now, but I believe she's been around. I tell you what, if I see a UFO, I'm calling Fred. I'm grabbing a 6-pack and we're going looking.
Right. I want to hear about craft, right? Because I'm tired of lights. There's so many lights. Because, number one, in Maine, In the 1980s, people saw a lot of UFOs. They said, well, planes can't travel like that. They're going fast and they're making right-hand turns. Unfortunately, we tested the cruise missile over the state of Maine. And guess what? They make a right-hand turn pretty slick. Right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Maine's known for, right, because of the woods. They're testing all kinds of aircraft over Maine. You don't know what's out there.
I believe in that. They still use Brunswick. I know Brunswick's more of a commercial airport, but that was big in the time with the air shows. And I believe they, excuse me, a lot of stuff came out of there. I want to tell you something, though, about a story that I have. Are you familiar with Lisbon, Maine at all, by where Graziano's used to be?
Oh, I loved Graziano's.
Oh, yes. My God, named after the boxer Graziano. Sucks it's gone now, but that's probably the best Italian food I've had, aside from my mother, rest in peace.
Well, there was the old Village Cafe in Portland as well, but I loved Graziano's.
Village is great.
Right?
Graziano's was killer. Back in the back of Graziano's, I grew up in Rorumbo, right by Beaver Park. It's a man-made park, a couple water things. But I grew up in Rorumbo Trailer Park, which is named after Chief Rorumbo, an Indian native. Out back there's a sand pit and a little dump and stuff. And when I was a kid, Fred, before I smoked weed, I must have been about 12, man. And I was all with my friend on a bike, and we saw this thing. And how I could describe it now, and I'm literally looking at nothing, but I could see it in my mind. It reminded me of like a center cap, or like a not a center cap, but like a hubcap for like an old sedan or something. The hubcaps that come off sometime, the silver and the wheels of the car. It reminded me of like a silver thing with just a little bump on the top, and it was making a high-pitched hum sound. And there was one light, and it was fucking gone like Halley's Comet, which people think is alien craft involved. But it was gone quicker than anything. And me and my friend both fell off our bikes, dude. And yeah, I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like those kind of stories because you saw.
It reminded me of a hubcap. You know when hubcaps are that silver?
Yeah, that's a familiar shape, right?
Yeah.
And then the triangles, which I believe
it was a high pitch, almost like a whistle, like almost like you think a dog could hear it better than you because it's a high pitch wee. And then I look, I go, what? And then I just zoom, and I just go, what the? And I go, did you? He goes, oh, shooting star. I go, no. I was 12. And I'll never forget that. That's imprinted like your friend. Yeah. You can't forget it.
But you could talk about it. My friend was like going to kick me out of his business because I started bringing him, right?
His fucking lips are sealed.
Don't talk about it. I want to talk about that. It's like growing up, going into abandoned houses with your friends. And, I used to see some things around. Well, I didn't dare tell them because they don't want to leave. I'm like, I'm interested in drinking this beer, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. We're rare breed, that's for sure. Jimmy's having a good time. He says, Fred, is that your story of the telephone lines?
I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
He mentioned it earlier, Jimmy, that he saw that when he was a kid, if that's the same one. It was about the height of like the telephone lines you're saying above the tree line.
It was the one that flew over the house, right?
Yeah.
Right. Boom, it was right over the...
You want to take Nicole's question? Have you seen crop circles?
I have not. I mean, we don't get a lot of that in New England.
No, it's an Iowa thing or Indiana.
Right. I would love to. I'd love to visit a site. Any paranormal experience with spirit?
I love this guy.
With spirit. Well, I'm very spirited when I go out and the UFO hunting. No, I did grow up in a house. When I was little, I remember there were people that lived in the closet, and there was like no shit. And you tell that to people, and your family, and they're like, "Oh, you're seeing things." Oh, well, I'm seeing it a lot because they're coming out every night. So they're coming out of the closet every night. There's 3 of them. So you tell me.
Wow.
But there was always something out of the corner of my eye in the house.
And that was northern New York, upstate New York.
Yeah, almost right on the Canadian border. Ross probably knows. Right across from like Cornwall, that area.
Oh no shit! Yeah, Ross is by the Niagara area. That's cool.
Right, yeah.
So, this is a lot of fun, man. You're a lot of fun to talk to. That's killer. I'm glad you came on my show. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome.
Well, it's cool because I remember at the Paracon you came up, you're like, I can't. You're like, hey, you came right over to me, and I was like, oh, because I'm still learning in this field. I'm still fairly new, and I'm learning to trust people again. And dude, you're one of the good ones. I check out your posts. I try to check out your timeline daily because you always lift me up. I try to like your shit as much as I can because you're funny as hell, and you're just one of the good ones, man. And I love. So, what drives you to go around to these places in Maine? You just get up and go, hey, man, I'm gonna go fucking see where I can land today, or whatever.
Well, it stems from when I came to Maine. I didn't know anybody up in here. On like a Sunday morning, I'd get a big giant cup of coffee from Cumberland Farms, and I would just
that's a Maine store, guys.
right and just drive.
Cumbies, we call it for short. If you're Rick
and I would just drive around the back roads, and just try to just see what's out there, right? Because like you talk about Lisbon and Durham. Durham is a creepy place. I lived in Durham for a while.
Oh, one word. Fucking. No, besides fucking, but one word. Shiloh.
Yeah. But
the Satan temple, man, with the crown on top, man, with the cemetery. Oh, boy.
Durham.
I dare you to go knock on the door. No. People would get out of our car, go knock on the door, get back in the car, and take off.
Durham, right? When I was living out there, it was a while now, but it was darker than the inside of a cow, man.
Yeah.
Right. And we would just sit. I would just sit in the a lawn chair in the summer and just look at the sky and just look at the stars instead of and just
there's
look.
Really nothing like Maine.
And just look. I mean, you could actually see the night sky out there, so it was amazing.
You go to these places like Casco's got what is it called? Hackers Hill and Casco, and you can see the.
Oh yeah.
Mountain.
Oh yeah. I would love to be able to spend that up there. I guarantee you'd see something.
Oh,
I would almost guarantee that you would see a UFO.
You would have to. You can see all of Sebago Lake. My mom lived in Casco, and I'd go at night, and the gate would be up, and I'd want to walk up the hill, but my fat stoned ass couldn't do it because I'd be like, But I guarantee you, if you get up there, plus they got sensors and signs, and it sucks. But if you go up there, man, you can see all of New Hampshire, almost to the ocean. Oh,
I've only been up in the fall, but I'd love to pitch a tent and have nobody else around.
Dude, you are my spirit animal, Fred.
Right? And just be there and just experience the top of that hill. Because God, you would have to.
That little steeple that you go down there, there's a little cross they were changing. You go to the other side and you can see the nest. There's a bunch of eagles' nest, and you just look and you could see the White Mountains, like you say, and yeah, that would be great tenting. Oh my, they could charge people and make good money. It's really Heather. Say hi to Fred. Say hi. Just say
hello, Fred. How are you?
Oh, living the dream.
She thinks you're a riot. I'm fucking like you said. That's what me and Heather do. I think New England and Maine, especially, you can just get up, like Heather said, get yourself a 99-cent coffee from Cumbies, get a breakfast sandwich, whatever, and go for a ride. And you'll hit a cemetery. You'll hit an abandoned building, something, man. You'll hit an Abenaki sighting by the ocean or something. I love how you vibe and you dig Maine. That's really cool.
Well, I mean, if you just drive around and just these small roadside cemeteries.
Oh my God, they're everywhere. Everywhere.
And there's not a town in sight. It's like, wow, what was here that long ago?
Yeah.
That they decided to bury these poor bastards here.
Yeah, there's no church. I think sometimes there's a meeting house nearby, but sometimes, like you said, Fred, it's just some dude's farmer plot, and it's like there's 8 people here, and there's pucker brush and ticks galore, and no sign, nothing. And these poor fools are forgotten about. And it's like, don't tell me there's not something there. Wow, that's killer. We do get a question from Nicole again. Have you ever experienced, I love this one. Have you ever experienced any black-eyed kids, any black-eyed children?
Thankfully, no.
Oh, that's pretty hardcore.
Right, thank you. But if they come to your house and they knock on the door, don't let them in.
No.
Please don't let them in.
And you go to yourself, well, they're kids. But when they say things like, is it feeding time? They can't pronounce supper. They get the English wrong. I mean, no one's got their 8-year-old, 12-year-old kid out there at 11 o'clock saying, can I come in to be warm? They're very weird. Yeah, some eerie shit.
Well, are you familiar with the Children of Woolpit?
Ooh,
the Green Children of Woolpit, England. I forget what year it was, but these 2 kids came out of the woods and they were green. They wouldn't eat any food that wasn't green. And they didn't really speak English.
What?
Look it up, man. It's the Green Children of Woolpit. It's a fascinating story. Happened in England.
Heather literally is on Google. She's my little secretary. Yeah, I got it. That's in wow. I love oddball shit like that.
It's one of my favorite stories. Right.
Oh, and that could be alien related, could be demonic related, could be who knows.
It could be inner Earth related, like troll people, right?
Yeah, there's a Wikipedia page. Sometime in the 12th century, perhaps during the King Stephen reign, children, brother, and sister were. Well, I'm not going to go through all of it online, but we're alive. But wow, that's intriguing. Yeah, check out the Green Children of Woolpit. Woolpit. One word. It's on Google.
Right.
Wikipedia. Interesting.
It's a cool story, right?
Wow.
I want to talk about that kind of stuff too, not just UFOs.
That's the history, right? Yes, Fred. We got 25 minutes, 23 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Look about New England, the Pukwudgies.
Oh, the Pukwudgies.
Right. A lot of people never heard of it, but if you like Massachusetts, they're a pretty good legend. And Rhode Island.
I believe that's what the Dover Demon was a Pukwudgie.
Well, there's only one of those have been seen.
Really?
But it's a fascinating story.
I love it.
I love the demon Dover Demon.
Have you been to the cryptos? You must have been to Laura.
Yeah, I go at least once a year and buy something. I bought a bunch of gifts down there.
We try to spend our money. I want to get to the Bangor one now, the new one, to support them. Check out King's House again and all that good shit. But yeah, that's cool, man. Oh, I love that you're into all that shit too. Like you say, you're not segregated like me. People go, oh, you're a ghost hunter. I go, well, honestly, I'm more of a historian, but I love it all. Monsters, dude. Like I had to go to Penny and Parney Hills. I had to go to the grave site. I've been to the sign. And
I haven't been to the grave site. I've been to the marker.
Oh, the interrupted journey, it says on their markers.
Yeah.
So we left some quarters there. Very modest cemetery. But we also went to the one I want to talk about, Musiano. In 1965 by Exeter.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Have you ever been up to the Exeter UFO Festival?
I wanted to go. It's been canceled for the last 2 years.
I know. That's a good time.
We went through because it's actually not Deerfield. Where the hell is it, Heather? I forget the name of it. Kenningston, New Hampshire is where the field is, but it's right next to Exeter. They don't have police in Kenningston, where the field where they saw it. But he went to the Exeter police next to the next town. And they came over with it, but it actually happened in Kensington. But of course, Exeter has UFO days. But we went through Exeter, very cool little town, like a little mill town with little shops. But have you been to the UFO Festival? You must have been.
Yeah, well, let's not forget the Greater New England UFO Festival in Leominster, Massachusetts.
Oh, I don't know that. I should know.
We haven't had one in a couple of years. Well, we had a film festival 2 years ago. There wasn't anything this past year, but hopefully we'll get to do one again. It's a good time. It's in Leominster, Mass. It's right in the town hall. Susan Spuler is the director of it. She brings in some great guests. I met Nick Redfern there. Travis Walt. Yeah, Travis Walt. I met him. And
you met Travis Walton.
Yeah,
wow.
He came 2 years in a row. Ronnie LeBlanc. Are you familiar with Ronnie LeBlanc? He wrote Monsterland.
Ronnie LeBlanc? Yes, yeah. I've heard of him.
He's from Leominster. He was there. So yeah, it's a lot of good people.
Wow. His stories. Boy, I tell you, every time I it's just all the movies like The Others and all that stuff. Aliens give you another feeling because Ghost is one thing. It's kind of limited here on Earth. But when you start thinking aliens and how they could take you to literally another galaxy and shit like that, like you say, these abductions that they literally just take over your body.
Oh yeah.
It's and now the government's finally admitted, yeah, there is UFOs.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know what they admitted. I don't know what they admitted to because I read that report and the sentence that I got out of that entire report was, if we had some more funding, we would be able to do better research.
Oh, is that what it more or less is?
I think it's I think we need some money.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right.
I know Trump was all ears for it. Trump was definitely all about going in there, learning about this craft and stuff, learning about the different shit. But they shot that. Of course, Corona fucked everything up. Anyway, the killer bees, Corona, and Harambe died, so we're all fucked after that.
Well,
what's your go-to, Fred? What's your? I gotta ask you a question. What's your bucket list, my brother? What's something you think you'd like to see in America or outside?
Well, I would like to go to Stonehenge.
Not
Right.
New Hampshire, not
No,
America.
I've been there. That's
Ah.
that's a fascinating place.
Oh, the Oracle's Chamber and the sacrifice
That's very
slab. Oh, I
fascinating.
love
Dennis
it. That is
runs a
fascinating.
good
Yeah,
show. He runs a good thing, right? That's awesome. Which is weird about the I'll tell a little quick story about the America Stonehenge. I never heard about it until a few years ago. Right? Never heard about it. And then I
Mystery Hill, yeah.
right. And then I bought the box set of In Search of, and like the second episode in was Mystery Hill, New Hampshire. I'm like, how come I've never heard of this place?
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, once I watched that, I started noticing on Facebook. It's weird. Some of the people that I know were going there, and I'm like, how come I've never heard of this till like yesterday, literally yesterday?
Now
And
you
it's
see
now
it.
it's taken over my life here.
That is pretty fucked up. I mean, I understand if it was an ad or something, but for your friends to go, they're listening to you too.
Right. It's part of right synchronicity.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy hit me up in 2017. He's like, "There's a place in New Hampshire, America Stonehenge." I go, "This is Salem, New Hampshire." I didn't even know there was a Salem. And you go there and just shove the llama farm, and then we ended up going out back. And I fucking said, "This is a Flintstone house. It's all rock. Well, it's all rock caves. It's very intriguing." But you want to go to the real one though in UK, right? London, right?
Right. I like to go there, but yeah. But the thing about the New Hampshire is if you follow the stones, it actually goes through one of the largest. If you line it up, it actually is in line with one of the stones at Stonehenge.
Yes, yes. I saw that theory on something. I think I watched the same show as you, but they were saying geographically it lines up perfectly.
Yeah,
and they have the solstice rocks there and all that shit.
Yeah, there's got to be something to it, right?
Wow,
that's the thing about the paranormal and the whole. There's something to it, or we wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
I love my Beavis. I love my mindless Beavis and Butthead and my pro wrestling, and I watch a little bit of football. But when I want to really watch things or fill my brain, I watch UFO, paranormal, Bigfoot, just these mysteries in life that people are still trying to find. It's really a cool society we're from, isn't it? We're all geeky nerds that just love this oddball shit that most people would look at you and go, "Ew, you're one of them." You know what I mean? You kind of do. You ever get that when you talk about UFOs? People go, "Oh, I don't believe in that."
What? Right? The people, right? Yeah, but if you get people talking long enough, there's always, well, there is that one time.
Oh, that's true.
Right? Yeah, right. Or like if you talk about ghosts, I don't believe that garbage. And then, well, there was this one time.
Right, where every day at 3 a.m. I heard footsteps at 3 a.m. for like
right.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a story, but a lot of people don't want to share it.
That's so weird. That's 3 or 4 times you've mentioned that. I don't know why that is though, but
and they don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
So I see King has a question. If I remember a UFO incident that involved the police chase, I think that was in Ohio, but I think there's several. But I think there was a real famous one that was in Ohio. I don't remember the name of the case though.
Really? And of course, the Exeter one did have police too. But so hey, Fred, time we got 15 minutes left. I gotta ask you, what's some of the spots you've been though? Where I know you've been in New York a lot. You've been to the Adirondacks, which you said, which is big too in Maine.
Right. Well, Adirondacks has a whole weird history as well. Right. It's just odd.
Oh, I'm thinking Allagash. Shit. Because the Allagash has got some UFO stories too. Adirondacks is New York. Allagash is Maine.
Yeah, that's up north. Right. Well, there's the Allagash 5, right? Those fellows that were out fishing and got abducted.
That's right. Fly fishing. Yep.
Yeah. And then, Maine has a lot of good cases. But just about everywhere has a good case. That's the thing, right? It's everywhere. It's got a good case.
It's who wants to be popular more, who wants to cover more. Hey, let's go off subject real quick because I know you like that shit. What's one of the movies you like to watch? What's something you're into for a TV show right now or anything? Dancing with the Stars or something?
Oh, Dancing with the Stars.
No, I'm just giving you shit. No,
it's weird. I don't really watch a lot of television. So. I watch old stuff. Just I don't like a lot of the new stuff. It's
Yeah, it's an idiot box, man. Yeah, I don't blame you. So what does a guy like Fred do in your spare time? You just go cruising then, huh? That's killer, dude.
right. Well, there's not much else to do in this right now, right? There's no movies to go see.
No.
I mean, I like to go see a film, but the film situation's not great, right? They don't make very good films.
And half the places you go, you want to go and enjoy it, and it's like, shit, do I got to wear a mask? I got to show my ID card. What do I got to do? Jump through hoops now? It's 5 degrees. I got to go out and start my car back up. Fuck that. But I see during the fall and summer and stuff, you're definitely moving. Like I said, you're checking out parks. I always see you going to I think you went to what's that? The Muddy Rudder was right. Is that right? I think you.
Yeah,
that's a great restaurant.
I mean, so it's not. Yeah, so I think it could see food.
Yeah.
Fried fish.
Yeah. My girl Heather, the Witch and Life Guide show on Thursday nights here. She asked you, Fred, have you ever been out searching for a specific cryptid? Just gone out to shake hands with the Bridgewater Triangle or something?
No, well, I had, like I said, I always try to make a run out to Runaround Pond a couple times a year because I'm telling you, there's something out there, and I would actually like to get another crack at Bigfoot. I'm sorry, right? I jumped out.
You really think something's out there? That no shit. Like you really think something's that Runaround Pond? Like you asked me earlier, and I was like, yeah, but you really do, huh?
There's just a weird feel about the place.
If you follow Runaround Pond Road does come to Stephen King's childhood home, which is next to the Methodist church that he preached at.
And in the 70s, there was a Bigfoot sighting in I think in Durham.
Yeah, and it's around there, and I could see UFOs because if you go before there's farmland, and you could see the sky all the way to fucking Nebraska, I swear.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where the Leech scene where he wrote by Stand By Me, he inspired by that. So there's a lot of shit, which is a side note, but Runaround Pond, man, that's where I saw my moose, like I said earlier. I could see that vibe because even by there, was it Bradbury Mountains over there too? That's known to see spirits, I guess.
Right. Well, it's old, right? It's all old property. So, there's probably tons of people that are buried out there. So who knows what the energy is?
Durham used to have its own baseball team and nudist colony. I bet you're looking for the nudist kid.
Oh, the leisure. Was it the Durham Leisure Center?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. You know your shit, dude. Wow.
That's they wouldn't let me in. They took one look at me. They took me one look and they're like, no, you can't come in.
Fred. We're talking to Fred Richards, man. I'm talking to an old friend. I forgot we got about 12 people listening. Well, at least in chat alone. Fred Richards, UFO Fred. Like I said, he's a UFO based guy. He believes in a little bit of everything, and he's just a good guy to have on your side.
I mean, there was so much, right? When I was a kid, I never played with the Ouija board, but I had one experience with it where there was one in the house. It was in our basement. We had a root cellar, and it was usually locked because there was stuffing there that they didn't want us to play with or whatever. But there was a Ouija board in there, and I remember taking it out and just kind of playing with it, and it was moving by itself.
No way.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, this is a bunch of BS." So I started tearing it apart, looking for like magnets. Why was this thing moving? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I probably pissed off the spirits that were in the board or whatever, but I didn't believe it. But it's just like, yeah, I just remember that, and it's like. And it was in the part of the house. My brother and I even talk about it. Yeah, when you went by that room, you just ran. You didn't stop. It's just one of those weird.
Yeah, looking for the explanation. But that's what I like about you, though. You're how can I put this? You're flat-headed to this point to where, all right, well, it's like you said earlier with the UFO or even the Bigfoot. You go home and you try to digest. Okay, was it a bear? You try to come up with the explanation instead of just going, oh, it's haunted. You know what I mean? Oh, it's Bigfoot. You try to think of a rational explanation until you say, well, I can't.
Right? It's just how it is. I mean, there's so much that we just don't know about.
Yeah.
Right? Just so much.
There is so much. So what do you? We got about 10 minutes left, Fred. What do you got planned for the next coming months? Any projects? Any little...
Well, I have some things, irons in the fire, as they say. But I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about it until I actually do it. Because I don't want to be that guy. Hey, stay tuned for something that's not going to happen.
Oh my God, there are so many people like that. Like, hey, keep doing you, and guess what? Good things will happen because guess what? They're happening for me, but I can't. I respect that. Just follow Fred. I guess UFO Fred to follow him. That's kind of
right. I usually just post memes and stuff or appearances. I'll post
until the one day where you have a selfie with fucking the alien leader. They'll go, "Wow."
Right. Well, that would be interesting, right?
That would be interesting, brother. You'd be the one to do it. Earl Morgan says we need a Ouija board for UFOs. I don't know how that works, but that'd be kind of cool.
Well, who's to say it wouldn't, though, right?
Right. Anything.
Who's to say that it wouldn't?
I love fucking Fred's outlook on things. You can't say nothing is possible because it's harder to prove that it is that it isn't than it is.
Well, that's the whole gig with working with experiencers. I'm not there to judge them. I'm just there to listen wdon't judgment.
Are you plan on writing a book, Fred? You doing a memoir or any sort of like
a memoir? I don't know if I would go to the memoir level.
You've seen UFOs, you've seen ghosts in closets, and you've seen Bigfoot. That's more than most fucking people, period.
But I don't know if I have enough for a memoir, right? Maybe a comic book. I think it'd be best to have
that brings me to my next question from
a UFO Fred comic book would be.
Well, Heather asked if you grew up reading Far Side comics like her.
Of course.
What do you think he got his name? His real name's not even Fred Richards. He stole it from fucking two people, Fred Flintstone and fucking Diamond Richards or whatever.
So King wants to know how come nobody else has started a UFO organization like Mufon. Well, you've got the.
It must have been there.
There's the UFO Reporting Center. They get a lot of sites. In fact, if I am researching a case, I'll typically take a look at if somebody reported it there as well.
Oh, I had no clue. I'll have to look into that. He says, "Thank you, Fred."
Yeah, the guy that runs that used to be on Coast to Coast quite a bit.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, that's I think how a lot of us also got interested in the paranormal is Art Bell, right?
That's a name I've heard.
Right. Well, he used to run. He used to show Dreamland back in the day, and then he went to Coast AM. And I remember it was in the early '90s. I remember I had little insomnia, and I was tuning through the knobs, and then here's this guy talking about UFOs. I'm like, what is this?
Oh, that's killer.
Right. What is this? And then the next thing you know, you're tuning in the next night. He's got EVPs. What is this? Right. And then you've tuned. Then he's talking about this guy who's got a hole in his backyard, but you're still fascinated.
Wow. Storytelling. That's why I like my radio show, because podcasts are cool, but you focus a lot on what's going on in the picture. With the radio, you just focus on the voice and you can kind of picture your own image, I guess. That's cool. Right. That reminds me of the old Creature Features, or what was that radio show back in the 50s where they said there was an alien attack and everybody believed it? You remember that? Yeah,
that was War of the Worlds.
That's what it was. Nicole asked, "Do you think Men in Black are real?" Nicole, I don't know if you heard.
I do. Yes, I do.
He's talked to people that have actually confronted these fucking.
I've talked to people who actually had seen black helicopters, which for years I was like, "Yeah, that's bullshit." But
black
people,
helicopters.
this right with no markings, but people that I trust have seen it. So I can't say, "Oh, well, I think you're crazy." I mean, you're my friend, right? It'd be wrong.
Oh.
Be just wrong. It'd be wrong, Adam, to be mean.
Oh, UFO Fred knows my name. That's fucking awesome. Hey, Fred, I got to ask you, too, because we only got a couple minutes left. So what did these people say about the Men in Black? I hear they're very just not emotional, very cut and dry, very...
They don't really talk about appearance. They talk about how very intimidating they are.
Intimidating?
They have a very intimidating character about them, like an energy, right?
Wow!
And it's not really about the looks, right? It's about, the
like shut up, don't say nothing. You didn't see nothing, like a gangster would do. You think, really?
Yeah.
Like a mob almost.
Almost.
That's fucking scary in itself, because a lot of people think that these people are aliens. They think that these people might be the lizard people, like Hillary Clinton. They thought was a lizard person. Well, they did. They said they have a video of her blinking and it glazed over her eye, and they go, "That's a lizard." I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't know.
There's a lot of videos out there, right?
And this says Beyonce. Yeah, Illuminati, man. I tell you, they're involved too. That's a whole nother fucking show. I don't want to be dead tomorrow. Let's not talk about the Illuminati. Shit. Fred, we got 3 minutes left, brother. Anything you want to say?
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
I know.
This was a lot of pressure. So much pressure.
No. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention.
I don't really have anything else. I just like to talk about stuff that's weird.
What's your favorite porn channel? Just kidding. I'm just joking.
Well, I'm a very big. I better not answer that.
How about we plead the fifth? xnxx.com. Just kidding. It's free. So anyway, what can we expect from you? Can I see you in Maine anytime soon? Can I meet up with you in Maine? Get a coffee? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah,
okay. Heather
probably.
just slapped me.
Probably, right? We're living in Maine. God only knows, right? I might, because as many places, right?
Get your bread tonight.
Any places I've been, I always look for you because you're all over the place as well. So
I swear to God, if I go here, he goes the total opposite. He goes, "Oh, I just missed you. I was in Bucksport. Ooh, I'm sorry. I need to go to Bucksport and see Buck's tomb. You should do that with me and Heather this spring or something."
Yeah, I read a story about that where they said that this was a form of granite that had the mica that was embedded in the Monotheistic age. I'm like, come on now. It's haunted. Everybody knows it's haunted. Don't even try to get that science on us.
They keep scrubbing the witch's foot off. It comes back, and they go, "Oh no, yeah, you're right. The granite when it sweats and when it rains, and oh yeah." I just want to go for the myth. I think it's great.
That's the best part.
Oh, dude, everybody's loving it. We got to go, but Charles Martin says great show. Earl Morgan. Well, you can see Fred, but people listening can't see. Earl Morgan says, great show, The King, Witch in Nature, good show. Yes, a blizzard tomorrow. Be safe, Fred, here in Maine. We'll hook up on Facebook.
Of course.
I can't thank you enough for coming on, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me. That was fun. I mean, I do some stuff, and people get very serious, and it's not fun. This was fun. I like that.
I had Chris McKennell on, the grandson of Ed and Lorraine. I had him on a couple of weeks back, and he told me that was the funnest thing I've been on. You didn't get too serious. I go, I'm just sitting back getting high. I'm just talking about with my guests, just bullshitting, because I want real guests, because I'm real, and I respect the fuck out of you, Fred. You know that, dude. I share your shit. I'm like, you don't know Fred, you should, dude.
Well, it's got to be fun, right? People. That's the problem with a lot of the people in the paranormal, is they try to bring this darkness to it, and it's not about the darkness.
No,
it's about it's got to be about the light.
Listen to this man. They're giving me the boot. Love you, Fred. Thank you so
love
much
you too, man. Have a good night.
I'll have you on again, brother. Thank you, everybody in chat. Thank you, Bruce, Heather, everybody. We're gonna have Fred on again. UFO Fred. See you next week. Historically Haunted Show. Paranormal King.
Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.